Hi there, this video is just going to talk you through how to use Google Forms to create a survey. So to start off with, you do need a Google account. So if you've got a Gmail account, that's fine, or a Google Apps account, etc. If not, go and create one, and then you need to go to Google Docs, which is just docs.google.com. You can see up there, and that will take you to Google Docs, Google Drive, depends on which version you've got, Google Drive up there. And I'm going to go to Create Form. And this is a survey tool. So on here you've got a few different options. The first thing you need to do is give it a title. So let's do one about PE at school. You can then include any information there that will help people. So you can give them some notes. So for example, you can leave this anonymous, etc. You can leave, give them some information about what the survey is going to show you on there. You can put some questions here, and you start with 2 questions automatically. You can see this one is highlighted, so I've got a pencil to edit. I can copy it and have a second one that's identical, or I can delete this one if I want to. Let's put in the first 2 questions. Let's have name as the first question. Again, you've got help text for each question, so you can add a bit of information to help you. So please leave this blank if you wish to remain anonymous. Okay, you can do that. Then you've got your question type, so you can have a text, which is a small box like this. Paragraph text gives you a larger box to put things in. That's usually useful for at the end. Do you have any other comments? Multiple choice is choose one of these from a list of 3, a list of 10. Check boxes, choose as many as you like from a list of 10 or 20 or however many you wanted. Choose from a list comes a drop-down menu like this here, so you can have that. And scale and grid we'll come to in a minute. It's sort of marking it out of 5. So I'll just leave that as a text box for now. I can choose whether to make it required, so they must fill it in. For this one, I'm going to leave it blank so that they can leave it themselves anonymous if they wish. Second question, go to this pencil over there, and let's put what is your favourite sport? And this one I want them to have a multiple choice. Let's put tennis, cricket, football, golf, or let's add an other option at the bottom, so you can choose which one on there. I'm going to make this required because I need this answer. I'm going to press done. Can you see that little small tiny red asterisk just there to show that it's a required question? Once you've got those 2, to add any further questions, you just go to add item at the top. So let's add an item, and let's put check boxes. So which of these have you played? So I want to find out what's happening in PE in my school. I want to know if they're doing some hockey, if they've been doing any tennis, cricket, have they done tag rugby or not? So you can add those there, and you can see they can tick each one on here, whereas up here you can only choose one of these options. That's the difference between check boxes and multiple choice. So you've got that option there. When I come to the scale question, let's have how much do you enjoy PE? So on a scale of 1, I hate it, to I love it. And then you can see you have a selection there, so they can put where they are on that scale, which is quite useful. The only other one that needs a bit of explanation is the grid. So grid works just like the scale question, but it has a load of them in one place. So for example, question title is rate these. Let's put how much do you enjoy playing these sports? So you can see you can label your different parts on here, and then again we'll put football, rugby, tennis, cricket. I'm just doing this for speed on there, and you can see that now I have a grid there that maybe they like football, they don't like rugby, tennis is okay but they hate cricket, and so on. So you can put those things on there. What you can also do is you can move these questions around, which definitely helps. If you realise that there's another one you want to put under name, maybe you want to know you're a boy or a girl, and put that up here under let's put are you male or female? Multiple choice, that's going to be male, female. My typing, sorry. And let's put that at the top. You can drag it up and put it into the right place. You can also break it down by going to add item, and put in section headers. So this will look like a little header on each part of the form. So the first bit is about you, and then the second section is about PE lessons. And you can see now that I can break that down just a little bit and move things around as and when I need to. At the bottom I've got a URL. If I click on that URL, that will then open up in a new window, and then I can go and have a look at my form, and there it is so far. You can see I can complete it and I can press submit. Going back to my form though, what I want to do is, once I've done that and I've looked at my form, if I go back to Google Docs, you have PE at school on here, and this is my results so far. Now currently there are no results. What I want to do is, there's two things I want to do. I want to make a few more changes, and I want to collect some results. So to make more changes, once you've gone back to the spreadsheet that was on Google Docs just up here, all I've done is if I go to form and then edit form, I can then go back to the page I was on before, and I can change things like the theme. There aren't many, there's about 100, they're not wonderful, but let's have a running one. Seems quite apt for a PE survey. And what I can also do, the thing that I really like doing with Google Forms, is going to more actions and going to embed. So if you've got a website or a blog, if you click on embed, it gives you this iframe code, which if I copy, what I can do with that is put it into a blog, and what will happen is it will appear just like this one here. So this is a blog for our upcoming Teach Meet, and here I've just put a form where I've put people's name and school, if they're presenting and so on. So all I need to do to embed that is go to add new post, PE survey, click on the HTML option that's around, and then paste that in. And then you can see there is my form, and I can then click and please fill out my survey. So just show you that again, that was very simply by going to Google Docs, clicking on the form, going to form, and then edit or embed. That then lets me go and edit my form, and then more actions, embed. And from there, I can then go and get the code, the iframe code, and put that into my website or my blog, which is very useful. So there's a few different things you can do. You can email it, you can Google Plus it, you can just share the link, etc. We've put links just on our website, copy that link, put it out, and then parents, children, etc. can fill it in. Once they've filled it in, you want to actually see what's going to happen to the results. So I'm going back to my Google Drive, and I made a temporary form, this one here called temp form, and I sent this out a little while ago on Twitter, just to get some data really for this video. And you can see straight away that 39 people have completed this form, because it says form 39 at the top. What I can do from there is I can go and edit the form like I showed you just now, and go and change some of the questions. I can embed it into a page. I can stop accepting responses, so I can turn it off and no one can get to that anymore. What I want to do though is show a summary. So if I click on show summary, you can now see that on the first bit, here are the names of everyone that completed it, because I asked for their name. I asked which county they lived in, completely forgetting that obviously there's going to be people from, the UK, from UK as well as USA and Singapore and all over the world, so they're all on there. I asked what their favourite colour was, and you can see that blue is the favourite. This one was choose one option out of these. For the next one, I said, which of these do you like? So some of these, it says here, because they may have chosen one, it may actually add up to more than 100% because of rounding and so on. But salt and vinegar is quite clearly the most popular crisp flavour. And then down here, we're doing this video on the first Saturday of half term, so people are very excited if they are teachers, which most of my followers are. And there you go, you can see that people are excited. I've put some scale grid questions here, so you can see how much people like Mars is okay, Snickers is more popular, Twix is quite popular, and people hate Bounties. So there's the results from all of that. And Chomps, people are not very keen on Chomps, unfortunately. You don't get to choose the colours of these or anything else, but you can see that I can collect and I can share my data quite quickly with anyone. So that's how to use Google Forms to make a survey. Very, very useful tool.